DCP. I'm going to run through some of the options that are available in the DCP settings menu option, which is going to be in the next release of DCP. Previously, these were all set up in a JSON file, which was, let's get it up. Oh, fuck. I'm new to streaming or to recording and everything. So it was all in here, which is okay. For me, being a developer, opening and running JSON files in a code editing program, but probably for everybody else, they had to figure out how to edit JSON files in Notepad or even Notepad++, which is bad. It's not good. We want to make it better. We want to make everything better. That's the point of DCP. Okay. So we're gonna have a yeah. Oh fuck. Okay. So we're gonna have a new menu item for these settings, with descriptions of what they do. For the time being, I'm just gonna run through them. So auto launch. These options make it so that whenever you first start Deadbolt, it automatically boots you into a certain room or whatever. So the apartment loads your last active save and sends it to the apartment right away. Mission select does the same, but opens the mission select menu. Custom levels is obviously the custom menu. And the first local level is, as long as you have a file there, it'll load, let's see, the first file that you have in your levels folder, which is here. If you don't have one, if you don't have any files there, I don't know what it would do. It might crash. Try it, see if it crashes. If it does, pop a bug report comment on the modding Discord. We'll see what happens there. At the moment, it only supports .nz files. I think it might support dbcl files. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. That's an unfinished feature. That's for auto launch. Next, controls. This changes whether or not the gamepad option is on the menu. So it's there, and then if I disable it, then. So if you don't have a controller and you don't want extra items on your menu, well, tough. You're going to have an extra one here. But if you don't want the gamepad one, then you don't have to have it. Aim with the left stick. This makes it so that you aim with a left analog stick if you're using a controller, when you're using a controller, which is how it works on Switch. I actually set it up so that it uses the right, but the guys who ported Deadbolt to the Switch, I think they got it right. Left stick is definitely better. Challenges. This makes it so that if you're a masochist and if you're a pro at Deadbolt, which I'm not, you can selectively enable these challenges, and they should, I think most of these options should take effect right away. So let's do it with headshots only. No, what was that option again? I forgot already. Headshots only, yeah, okay. Okay. Next. No headshots, headshots only, and melee only. They'll still get hit, bullets still have their same effect. But you won't be able to play with whatever you've disabled there. Next, cursor. Line of sight colors. This changes it so that if I've got a headshot, then it's bright red. If I've got a body shot, it's dark red. Lights are blue. There are a few different colors. I can't remember all of them. I think phylacteries are purple or pink or something. Cursor recoil. This was an interesting one. So most weapons, whenever you shoot, you can see the effect of your recoil with the cursor changing its size, but some weapons don't show that. I don't remember which ones, but basically that mod makes it so that all of them have that effect. Cursor dot. Okay. I don't know if playing like this is possible, but it's an option now. If you don't want to see where you're shooting. Okay, so challenges, custom local, custom debug mode. That's if you're playing a custom local level, as in a file in your levels folder. You have all of these debug options. And oops. Let's see. Divide and multiply or asterisk are probably some of the best ones. They make you invincible and unlimited ammo. They also make it so that you can't restart if you're invincible. Let's take this off. Oops. That minus one was one of my favorites. If you press minus, it flips your Y scale. I actually intended it for it to invert gravity, but it does this instead. But I left it in because it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. Okay. Yeah, I guess I could run through these other options. 0, that's just some debug stuff. Really, it's just for me. Hit mask makes it so that you can see the hit masks. Same for the enemies. If you're using the scythe, which I don't have unlocked at the moment, then it will show the deflection mask. What else? MP grid, that means motion planning. This is really good for testing your custom levels because it shows where the enemies can actually walk to. That's MP grid lighting. That's the debug option that was originally in the game. I haven't got to the lighting yet. I will do at some point. I'm sure that it'll be really useful whenever I eventually do. Logic objects. There are no logic objects here. The vanilla debug mode, which isn't available unless you edit the files, but there is stuff there. That shows kind of like what you can see here. So it tells you whether or not a logic object is active, and a few other things as well. In the latest version of DCP, I've changed it so that logic looks like it does in the editor, so you can see how everything links to each other, and it still shows the active state. So if your logic object isn't active, then it'll be slightly transparent. I think that needs a bit of an improvement, but we'll get to that. That's part of the whole this whole other thing that I'm planning that's coming up. That I posted an image of in the Deadbolt modding Discord, and it's probably completely indecipherable to everybody except me. But it's there, man. You know, if you want to know the secret big thing that I'm planning, then the clues are there. If you want to try and figure them out. What else? Walls and heat. That's another default thing. I don't know what heat does, but it does something. Yeah. 6, 7 AI targets. They don't have a target at the moment, so their target for aiming and the target for their destination is 0, 0, which is the top left. If I grab this guy's attention, the target's changed to me. 7, 8. That's another default thing. I've changed the font so it's a little bit smaller. Searched one actually means I think they haven't searched. Yeah, so he's going to search. There we go. I left it in. I'll probably change a lot of these options at a later date. For now I left them in because, I mean, it's pretty cool being able to see the tools that the developer originally was working with. It's 8, 9 we've done. Toggle hope we've done. The room speed ones are a bit weird. I think they need more work to get working. But basically, so let's say we want room speed 2. You press page up and it'll activate. But because a speed of a higher priority, as in higher up on the list, is currently active, then the speed you've selected won't take effect. So if I press home to disable that other speed, that higher priority speed, then the next one will have an effect. That's quite handy for if you set your room speed to 2, then it goes horribly slow, you can quickly press home to reset that, and it'll override everything else. So let's disable all of those. Okay. Is everything turned off? Yep. Yep. What? Why was that? Okay. What's next? What are we up to? Custom local. Trunk. This is a really good one. Makes it so that even after you fire a shot, you can still access your car trunk, which is good. Custom local. Tight spacing. I will come to that in a moment. Not bought. Show weapons that aren't bought. That should show me all the weapons available in my trunk. I don't have all of them at the moment. I'm not sure why. Could be a bug. Not viable. This should show all the weapons in the trunk. Yes, okay. And this brings us to the other options. Custom local, tight spacing will make it so that you can actually see all of them. And because all of these letters are quite ugly, I added the extra option to be able to give them proper case, which makes it a little bit easier to read. Well, here I can show the scythe hit mask, which was hit mask 1. There we go. Okay. I've changed it so that the deflect is a bit easier to use now. Evidently not easy enough. Oh, I didn't. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's a bit easier to use. The window of opportunity is a little bit wider, and I think it now resets. So if you deflect a bullet, then the cooldown will reset, and you can just continuously deflect bullets. It's probably OP, but I mean the scythe it's already OP. The scythe does get the sickle does get a bit of a nerf because it's ridiculous, you know. It's pointless trying to use any other weapon, so it's got a bit of a nerf. It still kills most people in one hit, but with, I think it might have been Ninty who suggested this, for the heavies you gotta use 2 throws. With Roland you need to use 3, but it's best to get in close and just melee them, because the sickle has that special fast melee ability. What next? Custom local, I think we've done all of them. Teleport lets you, with a middle mouse button, move around, which is cool. One of my favorite things. That was that one. There is a bug, actually, I should mention while I'm here. There is a bug where debug mode just flips out, and it was causing a lot of issues. So I've added a fallback so that if debug mode has broken, then it will just disable, so you won't see this. So if you get to a position where you don't see this, but you are in a custom local level, just restart the game. You can do that with the pause or break key to restart instantly without having to go through Steam and everything. What next? Custom local graphics. This would probably be better disabling strobe lights in the video settings. If you like flashing lights, like so, that kind of flashing light, but you can't handle strobe lights, then this menu option is perfect for you. Original resolution. This makes it so that whenever the game boots, then it loads in the small resolution, which is really good for taking screenshots because they're at the original pixel sizes. Graphics, HUD hide. This just hides everything. Ooh, wait, yeah, that's fine. So we don't have the indicator here, and loads of other stuff is probably hidden. I can't remember what. HUD hide. Oh shit. Okay, that's that's a bug in my new code. I'll have to fix that. That one's enabled by default. It turns off tips that you normally see here. Whenever your deaths can be divided by 10 neatly. I don't remember the mathematical term for that. But if you have 10 deaths, 20 deaths, etc., normally you get a tip saying, hey, buy a weapon or be better. Or if you were the developer, it just said, don't die. That was the first tip. Not in the game anymore. Maybe I'll add it as a mod at some point. Yeah, so they're kind of pointless if you're playing workshop levels. You've seen them all enough times. There's actually a special custom tip where if you have 100 deaths or 200 deaths and it says something different. To hide. I think all of these are explained. I think they all make sense. HUD features, death counter. That makes this thing up here show, which is, I mean, it's fine for campaign levels. I think it's really useful in workshop levels where the number of swords you have is basically irrelevant. That's what features. Timer always. That adds a timer there. It's the same as the timer here. So if you're trying to go for the timed achievement, then I guess it's quite useful. It's something that I plan to expand, like a proper speedrun mode with no cutscenes or any of that. But you know, for now, there's just a timer there. What next? Indicators. AI aim target. That's the orange circles. If we get the AI targets back up. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, yeah, that's right. These lines were added later. I thought I got it backwards and made it so the lines are in the DCP settings, but no, that's right. Aim targets are, I think I explained before, where they're aiming, and the other type of target is where they plan to move to. Indicators. That's an odd debug thing. That's an odd debug thing as well. That just shows the direction they were hurt in. Range shoot. What is that? Oh, okay, yeah. That's something that I added. It looks a bit naff. It was just something I was trying. That shows you how close they need to be before they can shoot you. So let's wait for him to go away. Shit. Oops. Fuck, too many things. Okay, so he won't be able to shoot me until that touches me. There we go. We're up to range sight. That shows how close you need to be before they can see you, which is pretty long, unless you're in the dark. And then for all of the enemies, it's something like you need to be this close, except obviously not close if you have night vision. Targets, that's the other circle thing. Aim target and target. So normal target is their walk target, as in their walk destination. Reaction timer, this I added to try and get my own timings for the scythe deflect down, and that shows how long before they will hit you, I think. So when the number reaches 0, they're going to hit you. The number is subtracted by kind of a random amount, so it's not like a tick down. It doesn't go 20, 19, 18, etc. It jumps down quite severely. Yeah. So I would have liked to have had a proper timer. At the moment, I don't know if it's very useful, but you know, it's there. I think all enemies have like something like a 30 steps or 3 seconds. I don't know. I can't remember. But they all have the same timer, the same amount that ticks down. features, indicators, search, that's another default thing. Alert, that's another default thing. Those options are there. That's that one. Why are they in here then? I don't know. I don't remember. What's that? What does that do? What's that red thing? I don't remember either. There's too many things. Don't know. Enemy alert. That's whenever this is invisible, but it's pretty cool to be able to see. Why hasn't he alert his friends? There we go. They ping each other. So let's become invincible, and you see them ping, ping, ping. That is another vanilla debug feature. Vanilla general sounds. That's your walking steps. If you hold, oops, if you hold shift, then you don't make any walking steps. If you shuffle along, you don't make any walking steps. Also, micro sounds. I don't think knock. No, knock doesn't have a sound. What's next? Indicators. Weapon aim. That's your red circle whenever you aim. Weapon fire. That's a vanilla thing that I adapted to make the aim thing, and that makes it pretty easier with the other indicator off. Aim off, fired on. Okay. Oops. That's actually one of my favorite things that I've added to DCP is being able to see who's going to be alerted by your gunshots. Makes it really useful for strategy and stuff, especially if you're not used to all the weapons, and probably even if you already are used to most of the weapons, it's still quite helpful to know, and incredibly useful whenever you're making custom levels. Indicators, indicator, visible. Okay, so we've got a white border around the screen because we are visible, and if we become invisible, then the white border goes away. The code for this is actually quite interesting. There's a delay, so it looks like the code isn't working. The indicator code isn't working, but it is. It's just a delay, and I think it's fixed. So it runs on basically, I guess what you could think of as a global timer. So every, I think, 5 steps of the game, it checks to see if you're visible. So that's why in, I think it's Roland's level, there's a part where you drop down from a vent and go through a door, and sometimes you're seen by the heads, enemies, zombie, is it Shambler head, I think? Sometimes you're seen by them and sometimes you aren't. That's why, because sometimes you just make it by that timer and sometimes you don't. Next, indicators. Oops. Miscellaneous. Cutscene delay campaign. Oh, these are not booleans, as in they're not true or false. These ones, I don't think. No, they're not. These should be number values, and I haven't thought of how to make number values yet. It might be like a pop-up box, a dialog box. I'll figure them out. At the moment they're JSON only. So what that does is for custom, it makes it so that if you've got a custom cutscene playing and you click, then you have to wait. I think it's 60 steps, which is a second, before the next cutscene triggers. This just makes it so that there isn't a delay. And it is a number value at the moment, but I suppose I could just make it either use vanilla or make it so that you can skip past through dialogue. It doesn't let you skip it. It just means that there's less of a delay, which is good for really punchy dialogue actually. This makes enemy read speed go a bit faster. The value that I've set it by default in the release works really well because guys like the Fireplace still have a slow read speed, and it kind of works well. Faster enemy snipe dot. This makes it so that the red dot that chases you is a little bit faster. So if you're in an event over here and then you go an event all the way over the other side of the map, normally the red dot will go slowly make its way across to you, and sometimes you'll get sniped even before the red dot is anywhere close to you. This just changes it. It doesn't change things in any way gameplay wise. It just makes it so that the red dot is visibly closer to you whenever you get sniped, so you can't say you were unfairly sniped. What else? Indicators, done that. Miscellaneous. That changes the file name format for saves so that it goes year, month, day. I think I can't remember. That was an early one. I don't remember, but it makes them better. So it makes it easier to order your screenshots. Miscellaneous screens. Quick restart hotkey. That makes it so that whenever you finish a level, you can press R to quickly restart. Doesn't work well on multi-stage levels, but you know, it is what it is. Show par times. I'll show you what this does. It's cheap. Oh yeah, I can. Where's the what? Show part times. Must be a bug. Anyway, normally it would show in brackets. Oh, right, yeah, of course. There are no part times for normal levels. You can't normally do that. That's a special developer thing. I've come to love the tack knife. It's so good. I think I've lowered the cost of it for the next release of DCP from 80 to 50. I don't know, it still works, but you know, you need like 2 headshots to kill a vampire, so it's not quite on par with the likes of D&T and Revenant and you know, other guns. Still no part times. Miscellaneous, no screens. Oh yeah, these don't save at the moment. Nothing saves. It just changes the state in the current level, I guess. So if you change levels, it won't change. This will all change. All the text will be made not ugly, so everything will be better. Part times. What are part times? Part times are used to calculate your star rating. If you don't meet the part time, then I think it's ignored. But if you meet it, then it can improve your star rating. That's all on. All the part times are on the spreadsheet. I think the master data, the main spreadsheet, which is linked to in the resources section on the Deadbolt modding Discord, and also on the deadbolt.codemuffin.com website under resources. All those gorgeous spreadsheets with all that data, lovely data. What else? What are we up to? Screens, show part times. That's part times. That makes it so that on the don't normally talk for this long. getting tired, and it is like nearly midnight. That's probably what it is. I'm quite tired. Yeah, so normally you can scroll up a whole page you change that option and you just scroll one at a time, like in vanilla. Screens, mouse wheel, more stats. That does one of the first things that I added, which is shows your souls and your death count so far, and removes the word completed there. I'll probably add some column headings at some point, but that's planned far in the future. There's actually a few other things that I want to add here, like the number of weapons. Maybe you hover over and you can see which weapons you've unlocked, which would be better whenever New Game Plus is added. But again, that's all future features. Screens, more stats. That does not have an effect at the moment. Okay. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, that's the default noise. That's the new noise. The new noise is actually the tail end of the default noise. You can hear it at the end there. Show level name, that hides. That's an easy one to show. Show mission number. If I was in a campaign level, then I think the mission number would be there. The workshop menu is whenever you're paused on a workshop level. You've got quit custom. That hides that if you don't want it there. Also, for anybody that was wondering, the reason it freezes and the game seems to have crashed briefly whenever you load custom, and you notice this more if you have animations disabled, which are more settings. The reason it freezes is because what the game is doing is getting you a list of subscribed items from Steam, and that's not asynchronous. That's synchronous, which means it freezes the game until it's done that. At the same time, after it's done that, it tries to, or it does, read all of the files, all of the NC files. I think just the first ones that it finds. So that takes a while. So if you haven't launched the game in a while, then it freezes because it's redoing that. That data is cached though, so you go load custom, it freezes. You go back, do load custom again, and you can see things right away. That's why that is. I do want to add like a loading message or something, but again, future features. Screens, alt pop a sound, show level name. We've done all those. Screen, skip general, skip the intro. That skips the warning. I think the Hopu logo. Skip cutscenes. This is buggy and unfinished, but it should skip the cutscenes. The reason it's broken is that a lot of the cutscenes in vanilla, they're hard coded and they have code within the cutscene itself that says progress the story, do this, go to another room, or level in non-game maker language. So yeah, that's why it's broken. Again, something I'll return to in the future. But you know, there's other cool stuff that I've been working on at the moment. Skip animations. It skips the fading. That's it. Oh, actually, that skips it so that normally whenever you these kind of fall in from the side, I think. This just makes them appear instantly, which makes selecting levels a little bit faster if you like speed. The fade outs, if you don't know, it just makes it so that levels load basically instantly, which is cool. Levels do load instantly, technically, but there is that hard-coded fade to black normally, so that removes that if you don't like it. Skip animations, fade out, fade out, fade out, fade out, fade out, skip stat steps. Oh yeah, whenever you finish a level, normally you need to press E or click to do that noise and your stats appear, which is cool. You know, it's exciting. I think whenever you first start playing out, especially being like, oh my god, how many stars did I get? What was my time and all that. But once you know the trick of hammering E and left mouse, you go tap 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 to rush through it as fast as possible. So it just saves you from doing that. Skip animation, sprites. That makes pipe valves green whenever you activate them. One of the very first things that I did. This makes it so that mines that you have placed have a green aura, or whatever you want to call it, around them instead of a red one, which is really useful. And that one makes it so that the Reaper icon, somebody said, I read probably on the Steam forums, which I scoured through at one point for inspiration and ideas before I had too many ideas to fit into whatever time I have to do this. Somebody said that he looks kind of dumb or something, a bit dorky, the default portrait. So this just changed it to use the one from the cover art of the game. Sprites, weapons, bullets ignore body parts. That makes it so that you can. It was added so that you can hit mines that what are those bitchmen called? Technicians have placed. Because I was really annoyed when I would play a workshop level and I'd shoot that technician, then he'd die, and then you'd hear the noise that he'd placed the mine. It's like, dude, you're dead. How are you doing that? So this lets you shoot mines trapped under their annoying nuisance bastard bodies. Most workshop levels, they give you a 10mm, so you can shoot them anyway, but you know, is there if you want it. I do need to fix it. It is planned to make it so that because at the moment you can't gib enemies with shotguns, which Square Rabbit pointed out, which is an unfortunate loss. So we've kind of thrown the baby out with the bath water for that option. So I'm going to change it so that if there's a mine in your line of sight, because I've already been, you know, modded line of sight for the colors and fixing the laser sight and stuff. If it's in your line of sight, then there's a mine in your line of sight, then a bullet will be able to pass through a body, otherwise it won't be able to. Yeah, I was actually saved the other day by a vampire was trying to shoot me, and I just killed one of their friends, and their friend's body protected me from that vampire because bullets are stopped by body parts. So it has other uses. Headhunter bullet refund. I'll show you what that does. Where are we? We want to be in a custom local level, and if you don't know, you can press home to scroll to your local levels instantly, and then press home again to get back up, and that's there. I think I'll probably change that as well so that custom levels are on their own page, like, excuse me, like DBCL files are at the moment. You can press tab to switch to them. But yeah, that's later. That's a later thing. What are we doing again? Headhunter, I think. Yeah, okay. Headhunter. All right, we need to enable all that stuff. Okay, we've got Headhunter. Normally you've got 3 bullet. Oh, it's already enabled. Okay, yeah, right. So if I get a headshot, I get the bullet refund. And I think that that's something that the developer would perhaps intended early on, one of the intended and scrapped gun mechanics. Normally, this doesn't, obviously these things don't appear if you get a headshot with a headhunter. I added it, but the object bullet refund does exist, and if you touch it, you get refunded 1 headhunter bullet, only for headhunter. Normally the color is orange, it's a normal fire, and you don't have that noise. I made a level for it with my Steam username Darkly77, or just Darkly, I don't know. Yeah, it's there though. Where you can try this level in vanilla that refunds you bullets, which is cool. You know, there are probably a few things that can be done with that, but I figured why not make a whole mod of it? You know, if we're already doing the the scythe deflect. Next, weapons. Okay, so that's the headhunter bullet refund. Laser sight colors. If you have the tactical SMG, then the laser sight changes depending on what's in your line of sight. Sprites, weapons, input buffer. That makes it so that it's kind of a hard one to explain. Where's the sickle? Sickle. Okay. Here's a fun fact. The reason the burst pistol and the sickle are high up on this list compared to the other weapons is because these other weapons were added later, but the sickle and the burst pistol were originally planned. Most of the sprites were in the that famous DevArt assets zip. So they use their old IDs listed in the game data. So that's why they appear here with 32 revolver being 0, 9mm pistol being 1, etc, etc. So that's quite interesting because it gives you an indication of the order that the developer added the weapons in as well, which is cool. Also, bonus fact, I guess, if you've ever used the, I think it's called weapon upgrade object, it says new weapon unlocked 9mm pistol. There is actually a variable there that is set to 1 by default, and that dictates which weapon it shows you. 1 being 9mm pistol. I do plan on adding an option for that, and that's again part of the long list of upcoming things. All right, let's try and get through this. I'm very tired. It's getting late, getting later and later, and I've got work tomorrow. Where are we up to? That's weapons. Deflect bullets, input buffering. Actually, you know what? We'll call it a day. Call it a day for now. A few others to go through. I'll go through them later. All right, peace.